All right, everyone, thanks for coming. What we're talking about today, it's a big deal. This is going to fundamentally change how we build, design, and honestly, ship our themes from here on out.
Okay, let me start with a question, and I think we all know the answer to this one. Seriously, how many times have you found yourself building the exact same admin menu from scratch? You start a new theme and you just think, oh, here we go again. It's a pain we all share, right? Well, it's time we put a stop to that for good.
So let's just call it what it is, the old way of theming. And honestly, it's been holding us back. It's a process that's just built on repetition and so much manual work.
Yeah, this list should look painfully familiar to everyone. This is basically the checklist for the first 2 days of any new theme project, right? It's all boilerplate. Every single one of these items is something we're coding by hand, over and over and over again. Wrestling with cookies just to get dark mode working, or manually handling right to left languages. It's just so tedious, and it's where so many bugs come from.
And this right here, this is the heart of the problem. With every single new theme, we are literally reinventing the wheel. Every theme becomes its own little island, with its own separate way of doing the same basic things. And that's not just inefficient, it's a massive drain on our creativity and our time.
And look, this isn't just an annoyance. This whole process of reinvention, it has a very real cost. It hits our timelines, it hits our budget, and it kills our ability to innovate and do the cool stuff.
Okay, so take a look at these numbers. We actually broke down how long it takes to build these common features. You see that navigation plus permissions line? From scratch, that's 2 to 3 days of work. A dashboard with KPIs, you're looking at 3 to 4 days. Now, look at the column on the right. With this new framework, we are talking about turning days of work into mere minutes or hours. The difference is just staggering. So when you add all that boilerplate up, on average, we are losing 10 to 15 days of development time on every single theme just to get back to square one. Let that sink in for a second. That's 2, sometimes 3 full work weeks, just gone. But this is our new reality. With the framework we're moving to, that entire process gets squashed down to just 2 or 3 days, and that's time we get to spend on what actually matters, the unique design and the user experience. So how do we get there? How do we make this leap? Well, the solution is a new foundation we're calling XADF. That stands for the XOOPS Admin Dashboard Framework. The best way I can describe it is like this. Think of XADF as the plumbing and the wiring for our themes. We're not going to be building that stuff for every house anymore. XADF provides all that shared infrastructure, so we can finally focus on the cool stuff, the architecture, the interior design, the features that actually make each theme special.
So the official definition is that XADF is a shared architecture layer. But what does that mean for us day to day? It means we get a library of pre-built, totally reusable components. So instead of every theme having its own custom way to handle navigation or data, we now have this single, unified toolkit that any theme can just plug right into. We're finally building on a common, solid foundation.
Okay, so what's the actual payoff? Let's get into the weeds a bit and see how XADF works its magic and solves the very problems we've been talking about. First up, layouts. On the left, you see the old way, those rigid, hard-coded block zones. We're moving to the system on the right, a super flexible slot-based system. Now, the entire layout, where the sidebar goes, the render order, everything, is just declared in a simple config file. No more hacking away at templates just to move things around. It's so much cleaner. Now this is a total game changer. Theme inheritance. You all remember having to copy and paste an entire theme, basically forking it just to change a color scheme or a font? Well, that's over. Now you can just create a child theme that extends a parent, and you only have to include the one file you want to change. Everything else, it's just inherited automatically. This is huge. And here it is, our new toolkit. XADF comes packed with all these services that do the heavy lifting for us. You've got a menu aggregator, breadcrumb builder, a preferences manager for things like dark mode. It even discovers widgets automatically. All that manual code we were just looking at, yeah, it's all handled by these services now. This comparison right here, it says everything. Before, building a simple navigation menu took over 80 lines of really complex, error-prone code that, again, we had to rewrite every single time. Now, look at the right. It's 3 lines of code. You just use the menu aggregator service and you're done. That, Right there is the power of a shared framework.
So, what does all this mean for our workflow, for us as a team? This is the new way forward. It's going to let us build better themes way faster and do it together on one single unified platform.
And getting on board is super flexible. There are basically 3 ways to do it. For most new projects, you'll just extend the reference theme and add your custom styles. Easy. If you need total control for a really custom job, you can build from scratch by implementing the framework's contracts or interfaces. And, this is really important, we can even start using these services in our existing legacy themes. We can refactor them over time, bit by bit. And all of this brings us to the XADF promise. It's simple. You get to focus on what you do best: the visual design, the layout, creating amazing user experiences. XADF handles all the messy, repetitive stuff in the background: navigation, permissions, caching, asset management, you name it.
So, I want to leave you all with this question. Just think about those 10 to 15 days we're getting back on every single project. Think about all that mental energy we currently pour into writing boilerplate. What are you going to build with that time? What amazing new features and innovative designs are you going to create when all that boring stuff is finally gone? I, for one, can't wait to see what we build together.